All right, let's bring in the founder and CEO of Old Glory Bank, Mike Ring. Mike, good morning to you. Thank you so much for joining us. So have your customers seen any impacts regarding these China tariffs, and where do you hope these negotiations go in the future?
Well, we have seen some impact from our American customers at Old Glory Bank, and we've seen a little bit of slowdown in their spending. I think some folks are worried, but I think this gets done. People always want to laugh at President Trump for these tariffs, not only because of the disruption they're doing, but it is one of the tools he has to force China to solve this issue. They are holding back rare earth minerals we need to do manufacturing. And also, don't laugh at President Trump about Greenland. That's one of the reasons why he wants to get that deal done, because they have one of the world's largest depositories of rare earth minerals.
Yeah, that's a great point. I mean, there's a major emphasis on these rare earth minerals, and right now we're trying to get them to export more. But in the long run, do you think that's a good idea to tie our rare earth use to China?
I do not, which is why we need to get Greenland done, and then we have the Ukraine deal done as well. And so we do not want to rely on China, and we saw what happened when we do during COVID. So we've got to get a short-term solution done with them. They've got to go back to allowing us to import them. And then we need the long-term deals, which is in Greenland and Ukraine and other areas of the world.
Yeah. All right. I also want to ask you something about a portion of the big, beautiful bill that isn't getting a lot of attention right now, but it certainly is set to change. It's called the Trump accounts. So the federal government is planning to give $1,000 to every baby born in the United States between January 2025 and January 2029. And then that money is going to be placed in an index fund tied to the stock market until they are 18 years old. So this isn't a short-term giveaway where the mom or dad gets $1,000 when the baby's born and they can spend it however they want. This is investing into the country. So what do you think that does for our nation and also these children that are set to get this $1,000?
Yeah, it's called the Trump account, and he talked about it yesterday at the Investment American Roundtable, where he met with business leaders. Not Elon Musk, who did not make the cut for that meeting, but
right.
And lawmakers. And it's a great tax-deferred investment account for children. And you said it exactly right. Every child, of course, every U.S.-born child between January 2025 and January 2029 will get a kickstart of $1,000 from the government to go in this tax-deferred account. And that account, unlike Social Security, will actually track the U.S. stock index that they haven't determined yet, but they will. And then when you turn 18, kids can start drawing on this money, and that money grows tax-free, and you're allowed to put families, employers, and religious institutions are allowed to supplement that $1,000 kicker with an extra $5,000. Like we at Old Glory Bank, every child born during that period of one of our employees will match the U.S. government and also put $1,000 in for our employees.
That's
and,
very
and so
interesting.
once they once they become 18, they can draw it for lots of great reasons to help America. You can go to school if you want, but if you don't, you can use it to buy a home or start a business, getting away from just trying to force every kid in college. Let's have some kids start some businesses.
How about that? Yeah, and I think there's also an element of financial literacy to this, too, as well. I mean, could you imagine this sparks classrooms and teaching kids how to, invest in the stock market and really what that $1,000 means? I did the math yesterday, and if this was given to me when I was born in 1986, I'd have $60,000 right now. Really? Yeah, could you imagine how much that will mean to people in the future? One final question, though, because when it comes to federal government's big spending, expanding programs, sometimes that does make conservatives nervous. So what's your reaction to that part of this?
Yeah, this is a rounding error, and it's a brilliant move. So if you think about it, there's about 3.7 million children born every year. So listen, $1,000 a person, that's only $4 billion. Now, $4 billion seems like a lot, but if you think about it, every 2 days we spend more than that on just the interest of our U.S. debt. So this is actually a good place to spend some money, and I love the program, and you are right. It's going to teach kids about capitalism and push back against the woke social agenda that most schools still teach today. And
Old Glory Bank is going to be matching that amount, so that's something that we learned
for their employees, not for the whole country. Just for our employees.
Right. You got to work there to get the match. Mike Ring, thank you so much for joining us. Appreciate it.